Jessica. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. So today in class, we were talking about culture. What does that look like for you?
It's kind of difficult because, I think culture is very diverse. It is different areas of life that people experience. And even though I grew up, in a Christian household, that's considered as one culture. And when I go out into the world, I go out to the store or something, that's going out into other cultures. And I love learning about other cultures because I get to know other people and who they are. And I think it's just a way to spread kindness by getting to know their culture.
Exactly. I even like when you go to the grocery store and there's different sections of where certain products are coming from, and even that I find is a great way to understand culture more. For you, growing up, was it just only grew up Christian? Did you have any friends that had any different cultural backgrounds?
I grew up in the Christian household, but I did go to a public school.
Okay.
So I was exposed to those who weren't Christian. It's kind of funny because when I was younger, I was not exposed to that many different cultures because I feel like there was not that many people who were coming to Canada at that time, besides now. But what I can remember, I know I guess different cultures I experienced were friends who come from homes who have parents who are divorcing or divorced or different types of family systems. So I was fully aware of the different systems. And I don't think I ever asked any questions. I think I just naturally accepted it and was like, that's who you are. That's cool.
For sure. Do you find as you, now that you're older, you find you notice more of the diverse backgrounds and culture, or, I'm hoping I'm making sense with that question. Is it you find that maybe when you were younger you didn't notice it as much as you do now? If I'm not meaning
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. No.
It's kind of hard to explain without I guess sounding offensive or something. I don't know.
No, I don't think your intention is come across as offensive.
I guess in the past few years, I definitely noticed a huge group coming from India, especially coming to Canada, and I find it really interesting, and I actually appreciate working with them because I get to learn more every day.
For sure.
And it was an adjustment because when I started working at Walmart, it was, I guess I kind of noticed it, but didn't notice it right away. I noticed it, but I was I didn't find it a big deal. And as I worked along with them, I started to understand, their culture. And I guess the huge thing was there was a language barrier at first. And I had trouble understanding, what they were saying, through the accent. But the more I was exposed to it, the more I understood what they were saying through the accent.
For sure.
And, certain phrases or words, of what they were saying. Yeah, I guess it just helps me learn and understand, and I want to be able to use what I learn and understand to be able to include everyone else. So
exactly, I like that you're very open-minded to everything like that. And I guess another way to talk about in class, is there any labels that you have dealt with, like right, like in recently, or even when you were younger and like growing up?
I mean, it's definitely off topic of like talking about culture and stuff, but
Yeah, I tried to incorporate it a little bit, but
yeah, I like having that discussion though with others and see what others think. But I guess I was always I guess like I was always labeled as like as annoying because I was too like upbeat, and I would be too much for people. Definitely like it definitely have impacted how I thought about myself. Like, oh, I can't be too happy, but then I can't be like sad, because at the same time when I was sad, everyone said, oh, you're just seeking for attention, or you shouldn't be sad because you're a bubbly person. And it was confusing, and it just messed with my head. Even when I was like, I guess when I was in grade 8, I did start dealing with all that anxiety, and I didn't even know it at the time, but I guess looking back at it now, I was struggling with anxiety, and it just kept getting worse the more my friends were telling me, oh, you can't feel this, you can't feel that. And it's like I have to keep it to myself. And I do distinctly remember a time I wanted to separate myself from the group during lunchtime, because they always had this designated like spot of sitting at lunch, and I just wanted to sit by myself, because honestly I was just wanting to do a little bit of drawing and stuff during lunch. I just wanted to eat by myself, and because it was calming to me. But they were getting all angry at me because it felt like they were saying, oh, you don't like us anymore, or oh, like you're acting like you want to be cared for, or I don't know, they were saying all these nasty things, and so I actually went over and sat with them for lunch, even though I didn't really want to, but I felt like I was forced to. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely hard when you're wanting to feel a certain way, and everyone's like, oh, well, you shouldn't feel like this because of this, and it's like a way you don't know how to regulate your emotions. And then that was a good thing with your friends, because friends are supposed to be there to support you and be there for you, and even if you don't want to sit with them, sometimes lunch is a place where you want to just take time for yourself in the day and like color and take time to reflect. And if they're not supporting you in that, then those aren't real friends for you. So it's better to find people that are there to support you. Now, do you what am I trying to say? What are you doing to help with that, like when it comes to maybe regulating your emotions and maybe your anxiety with how you feel? If that's making sense.
Well, it makes sense. I guess now I was thinking this morning, I was like, if I had an interview with like these friends like this right now, I would actually ask why, or like what was their thought process of like what was going on for them personally. Like, how were they feeling at the time? I guess I want to know more about, like, what was going on with them, in a way. And I now say, oh, like, I am now stronger, and I actually have been getting better at giving myself compliments, saying, like, I am smart, or I am good enough. And it's helped me to, like, reflect on, or, like, be grateful for things. I don't know if that answered your question, but I was just talking.
Yeah, no, of course. That's really good that you do want to, like, go be like, why, like, almost like, why me, right? Like, when you're just trying to, like, you know, people say live my best life, and then there's those people that are just, like, stomping on your positivity. I don't even know if that's a saying, but you understand, like, kind of get where I'm coming from. It's, try not to overthink it. But yeah, you want to be there, or you want to understand other people's point of view, and understanding, like, why they treated you that way, right? So, yeah, sometimes you may never know why, and that's also, like, something to, like, have to accept. But, is there, is that, something that you take for when you have new friendships? Is it something that you kind of consider, like, oh, like, maybe you don't want to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness, sorry, Shaba. I guess, like, okay, no, I think I know what I'm saying. Like, with that previous experience, does it put up a barrier to when you want to have new friendships? Because of how you're treated? That's what I was going.
Yeah, it does. It does. I feel that, like, even, like, when I came here, I was very hesitant, because when I make new friends, often they leave right away. So I get used to that, and I'm used to it. And then when I do make those friendships, then I fear, like, oh, they don't want to be my friend anymore. I have this unhealthy thing where it's like, if I see them, like, hanging with, like, other people, and then I feel like a disconnected thing where it's like I get anxious about myself, saying, and it sounds really bad, but I guess it's, like, something I just don't want to admit, like, saying, like, oh, no, I do love when people socialize with others, but I do have that thought in my head saying, like, oh, like, am I not a good friend? Am I, like, messing this up?
Yeah, you find that maybe you weren't there as much, or you did something. Is that, like, another thing, excuse me, of, like, kind of also your thought process if someone is talking with someone else and you have that feeling?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We're at 14 minutes.
We're 14
Yeah.
minutes. Okay. Well, it was great talking with you. We talked about the culture class and how that looked like for you growing up, what it was like to deal with your friends, which you know it's not French, and that going forward, you know that not everyone is like them. So it was awesome talking with you, Jessica. Can't wait for the next session.
Yay!